So let me know if you have any questions in the SOC 2. Okay, again, SOC 2 has two types, type 1 and type 2. Okay, type 1 and type 2 principle is the same. Type 1 is only point in time effectiveness check, and type 2 is basically over a period of time. For example, 1 to 6 months, 3 to 9 months, okay, 6 to 12 months, like that, okay, over a period of time. That is type 2. And type 1 is basically just checking whether the control is implemented at a particular point in time. For example, on 14th of May, just checking whether the control is present or not. That's it. That is basically type 1. Okay. But SOC 2 now has a lot of changes when we talk from SOC 1. Now, what are the changes? Okay. SOC 2 basically supports any type of service. Okay, service could be related to a software based service, or could be related to any other platform as a service. So when you're using SOC 2, basically you're not constrained around the service. Okay, for example, when we saw SOC 1, our main area of concern was the financial related application, like for example payroll and all that, right, which involve financial things. But now SOC 2 could involve any type of service. Okay, so that is the difference. Okay, basically the purpose is to manage the customer data securely. Okay, SOC 2 main purpose. Technology and service organizations handling sensitive customer information. For example, if any sort of customer information is there, okay, you want to protect it, you go for SOC 2. Okay, evaluates compliance with trust services criteria. These are the different criteria in which the SOC 2 works on. Okay, privacy, confidentiality, processing integrity, availability, and security. Out of these, security is the default one. For example, security you have to take. You cannot proceed without taking security. It's a default one. Okay. Developed by AICPA. Okay. Applicable to non-financial reporting. See, I told you, right? Non-financial means any type of controls not related to finance also can be here. Okay. Why is it important? Again, establishing trust required by third party vendors nowadays. It's a demand of the market. Okay, it provides assurance that there will be reduced number of data breaches and all that. Okay, ensure compliance with industry standards like GDPR, HIPAA, PCI DSS. Okay, if you have implemented SOC 2 type 2, basically automatically 80 to 90% of these compliances will be met. That's how. Okay, differentiate service organization in competitive market. For example, if you are a service provider and you are producing SOC 2 type 2 as a report, so basically you are ahead of the market in terms of the competition. Okay, so SOC 2 type 2 is preferred by the customers. Okay, type 1 report, type 2 report we have already seen. Again, we can see that type 1 report basically at a specific point in time we check. Type 2 report basically effectiveness over a period of time. Okay, could be 6 months to 12 months and all that. Type 1 basically assess whether the control are designed correctly. Type 2 validates that controls are implemented and functioning effectively. What do we mean by designed correctly? What is the design of control means?
Sir, it may be have the meaning of how the controls are implemented.
I I think, sir, it means the how these implemented controls are as per expectation.
Okay, okay. So when we talk about designing the control, basically we understand how the control has been designed. For example, let's say as an organization, whether you need a full backup every day or a partial backup every day or an incremental backup every day, how control is actually designed and whether the design is correct as per the requirement or not. Okay, for example, for a critical application, you tell me whether you will take a full backup every day or a differential backup or a integral backup. Like what type of backup would you prefer? Because it's a very critical application.
It may be full.
It will be full only, yeah, because when you take full backup, the chances of errors are very less because you're taking end-to-end backup of complete thing, right? Very good. So this is how designing means the design of the control. For example, in this case, the control is the backup. So designing of the control should be as per the requirement of the organization. That is what designing means. Okay, designing means the control is designed in a fashion to basically help support the business. Clear?
Yes.
So in the type 1, only the design is controlled, but in type 2, the implementation are also checked if the control are implementing or not.
Yes. Now in type 2, basically we check whether the full backup is actually happening or not, and whether we are able to restore during that period or not. And also in the type 2, we see whether for a particular period of time, every day, the full backup is being taken or not. For example, if you see over a period of time, you will see a lot of backup failures also. So those should not be there because backup is a crucial part of the organization, right? That's why.
And sir, the SOC 1, we also have these two types. Can you just briefly explain the difference between SOC and 1 and 2? I mean, um, how they are different to each other. Maybe the scope are different. I'm not sure.
Yeah, basically the scope of services is different because type 1 and type 2 is same in both the cases. Okay, so let me show you one thing which will
No,
make
I
it
mean
more.
SOC 1 and SOC 2, I'm referring.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, soc 1 and soc
Okay,
2.
okay,
Yeah, let me show
okay.
you. This will make it more clear. One second. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so here you see on the left hand side you have soc 1, on the right hand side you have soc 2. Okay, so on the left hand side you see revenue software means financial processing. Okay, type 1 means organization at a specific time. Okay, type 2 means over a period of time. That is basically same in both the cases. Okay, but in the soc 2 you see essential for all type of service organization. Okay, including the cloud service provider. However, in the type 1 it's only related with the revenue or finance. Okay.
Okay. So the SOC 1 scope is only the financial
Yes,
uh,
yes, that is the only difference. Yes,
controls.
yeah, that is the only difference, right? Let me show you one
Because
more. Yeah.
yesterday you said the SOC 1 is applicable for a cloud. So
No,
he
no,
right
only
now
SOC 2. SOC 2. Cloud, if cloud is providing you financial services, then yes.
okay,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah. If you are getting financial services from the cloud, then
If
yes.
if
Yeah.
if the core banking is launched on top of the cloud, so SOC
Yes. Then
1
yes.
is
Then SOC 1. Yes. Yes. So again, SOC 1 you see focuses on the financial controls. SOC 2 focuses on the data security controls. Okay. Scope is basically financial ICAR, what we discussed in the SOX yesterday, if you remember, internal control over financial reporting. We discussed in the SOX, right? The same scope is there. Okay,
yes.
intended for financial service provider. However, in the SOC 2 is basically for any type of data center, any type of SaaS service, any type of cloud computing firms, right? That's the difference. But the report type is same. Type 1 and type 2 is both the same in both cases. Okay, but SOC 1 is basically giving you assurance of handling of financial information, whereas SOC 2 is giving you assurance of any type of customer information. Okay, not even financial, any type of. Now clear?
Including financial or not including?
Yes, including financial, any type. SOC 2 will include all the types. Yes, but SOC 1 only financial.
Sir, one question. If
Yeah,
an organization, finance organization, want to go for SOC 2 report, can they?
they can do that. Yeah, but again,
Yes.
in that
Uh,
case, they will get the overall reporting. However, if they want to have a specific financial reporting, that they will only get in SOC 1.
yeah, SOC 1,
Okay.
but still they can go for SOC
Yeah,
2
yeah,
as
yeah.
well.
Many
Oh,
companies only go for SOC 2 Type 2, what I have seen so far. Very few companies go for SOC 1. Yeah,
okay, thank you.
yeah.
I
90%
think the
of the
SOC
companies
2,
go for SOC 2. Yeah.
maybe SOC 2 is much valuable, right?
Yes,
Can we
yes,
say that?
yes, yes. That's also true. Yeah.
Yeah, because it include more controls.
Yes, yes,
Um,
that is right.
mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Okay. Good question. Thank you. Who needs a SOC 2 compliance? Basically, any type of cloud service provider, any type of SaaS companies, any type of managed service provider, data centers. See, finances come, financial technology companies. I told you, finance will be there. See, managing financial payments, sensitive financial data also. Okay, so SOC 2 is basically for everybody, right? That's how it is. Okay, healthcare also, technology. If you want to handle any PHI data, that also you can have with SOC 2. Okay. Now, what is the trust services criteria? Trust services criteria is basically nothing but a set of controls that are checked in the SOC 2 reports. Okay, controls related to security are there, controls related to availability are there, controls related to process integrity are there, controls related to privacy and confidentiality are also there. Okay, basically these are a set of controls which the auditors check. Okay, if you remember, the auditors are from AICPA. Okay, this is the auditing firm basically who audits the SOC 2. Key objectives of SOC 2 compliance. Okay, establishing trust, making sure that there are less number of breaches, operational reliability, meeting service level commitments, providing compliance with regulatory requirements. If you implement SOC 2 Type 2, you're automatically compliant because it's a very rigorous, compliance. SOC 2 basically takes minimum 12 months in any organization. Okay, you will take minimum of 12 months to implement SOC 2, not before that. ISO takes usually 3 to 6 months, but SOC 2 takes a lot of time. Okay, it's a time consuming thing. Okay, steps to achieve SOC 2 compliance. What are the steps? Okay, first of all, you define the scope. Okay, you define the scope as to what all services you want to include in the SOC 2 report. For example, if you are asking for a cloud vendor, and from the cloud vendor you are only getting software related services, for example, software development platform, software testing platform, so only those services will be a part of the SOC 2 type 2 report. Okay, then you do a readiness assessment. Okay, whether the controls that are required are already present or not. Okay, if not, then you include them. Okay, then you design the controls as per the requirement, then you implement the controls. Okay, then you engage an auditor to basically check with the status of the controls. Then basically you maintain the control effectiveness over a period of time. This part is very important. That is why any company will take 1 to 2 year basically to implement SOC. You know why? In the first year they basically implement, but they need to show the this effectiveness over a period of time. That's where they also need 1 more year to establish themselves. Okay, so that's why minimum 2 years any company will take for establishing SOC 2. Okay, then they get the SOC 2 report. Basically, SOC 2 is a report, 80 to 100 pages report. Let me show you. SOC 2 report.